What's up, everybody? This is Igor in Russia, and I'm a foreigner in Russia. As the great interview with big news hit the streets that Tucker Carlson is going to do an interview with Sergei Lavrov in Moscow. And I was in Moscow as it happened, and I was yesterday filming the possible locations where Tucker Carlson might have been with my friend Expat American, and that video is on his channel. Guys, me as a foreigner in Russia, I'm going to tell you a little bit what kind of a news there has been around concerning this interview. And before this, of course, also I'm going to tell you also my opinion, like what did he want to achieve with this thing? Because I think he's a patriot of America, but also he is an entertainer, so he wants to both things covered. He wants to get views, but also educate his target audience, which is Americans, like 99.99% Americans. He wants to make an impact on the people. So as you see, that's one of the news in the background about this one here, and the news about I was in the train from Moscow to St. Petersburg tonight as the video was released. But I've been checking out different sources and just, the social media and the news outlets that are actually blocked by the West if you're in the West. So I'm going to tell you a little bit what kind of a news is concerning this event, this interview.
Начал, что называется, в лоб. Спросил, находятся ли Соединенные Штаты и Россия в состоянии войны.
But the United States is...
Но США финансируют конфликт, в который вовлечена Россия.
Guys, first of all, this actually came out all of a sudden that happened, and he just released like 2 days or 3 days ago that standing in front of the Red Square. And actually, it's not Red Square, it's different. Anyway, in front of Four Seasons. And yes, Expat American, you were correct. That's the spot, not the one that I mentioned. And he was standing on this square, which is not Red Square, but you can see the gates of Red Square behind him. He was standing in front of the Four Seasons, which is a hotel right next to the great, next to Alexander Park, where the Eternal Flame is and Kremlin walls are. And he did this revelation that he's going to do an interview, but with Sergei Lavrov. And I thought, first of all, this is a big news, but it's not the biggest news because you cannot get any bigger than with Putin. But I guess it also gives a little bit different kind of there's more things to be said maybe in a different matter, in a different way by Sergei Lavrov, which is the longest running foreign minister in history of diplomacy. And first of all, I thought, well, we as Russians, I'm partially Russian, but I'm a foreigner, traveling to Russia. So because I follow the news and I know what this thing is all about, what's going on. So I actually thought, and I also follow a lot of the American news. So my thought was, because sitting president in America on his last days before his term ends, actually is trying to do stuff that are, from Russian point of view and from many, from people point of view that are, healthy in their mind and do not want to risk the world war and don't see any reasons to do this escalation. And escalation it is. So people were shocked that this is happening, even though there is support, I believe, in amongst the senators, or I don't know on which level was there a lot of support. But that's different reasons. It's just it's more about internal politics of America to do this. So, I think what Tucker came to do was actually to kind of bring up the situation, what's going on, and the threats and warnings by Russia that if these missiles gonna start hitting Russia, it's gonna get way worse for many, and for the opposition, for the opposing side, and also to their allies possibly. So, and that's what he wanted to do. And I gotta tell you, that's exactly what happened also. Sergei Lavrov said everything that we who follow the news, not one-sided news, who have knowledge of Russian language, understanding of the the media, understanding of the Russian side of the news. So he actually said everything, all the things again, and with few little new details. And actually, the news in Russia, it's not the biggest news. It's beginning, like newer news are already replacing it. So it's a big news. It's important. It's going to be the news for this whole day today. But I think it feels like it's also already like there's other matters from like news from the front and for example the fact that new Kursk Oblast governor was elected, and these news are already on the same level. So this is not as big as the one with Putin, like I said, and I thought it was going to be. But he did say some things, that I think could be outlined, and also are in the Russian media has been like brought up, because he didn't say anything worthy of like bringing up as a headline, because everybody in Russia knows about this. So one thing he said actually that I think is interesting, and it was in the news, that sanctions make us stronger and made us stronger. And then he said, what doesn't kill us makes us stronger, and nothing will kill us ever. That's what he said, and that was pretty strong, I think. And also because there was a lot of talks during the over 2 year period about red lines. So he actually talked about red lines, and even though I know, as coming from the West, media tries to downplay the red lines, saying, saying that you crossed this and that red line already. It's all bluffing, There was a strong reminder that, at some point there's going to be a stop to this. So he talked about that. And also there was news about that who started the war. And he reminded that it started, the reasons behind it. And because probably one of the key points in this whole thing is, of course, the Trump's new, I think it was partially also a message to Trump, because he was saying about things that Russia absolutely demands to be, to happen. And that's one of them, many of them, not many, but one of the few, was no NATO, absolutely no NATO. That's how he said, no NATO, absolutely. And I'm going to sneeze right now. And I didn't. All right, no military bases, no military exercises on Ukrainian soil with the participation of foreign troops. This is something that Russian President Putin reiterated. So this is one of the things. And then he reminded also that, Russian culture, people should not, and that's one of the deals, is that Russian people should not be persecuted, and Russian church, etc. The basic stuff. That's if we're talking about, for example, the same Western countries that are keeping their mouth shut, actually are feeling and not going the Baltic state route. And also one of the revelations was in the news is about the purpose of Oreshnik missile test, is that the hypersonic missile was a message to Washington, which everybody knew, but that was like underlined once again. So the main point of this whole interview was somehow maybe underline some of the things, future, thinking of the future, thinking about the probably misinformed or disinformed American people who have no say in this, what Biden has been doing, and then also the fact that that Trump is coming. I think partially there was a message for Trump as well. That's what I think. So guys, this is my foreigner analysis of how the news is being perceived, and also my own thoughts, like what this is all about, because I think I have some kind of a understanding of the situation, being under the Western media circus, bombardment, and also understanding Russian, so I know all the news. and all the propaganda on both sides. So yeah, guys, please subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna do maybe some kind of a bigger thing about this video, but this is just hot in the air, hot out. So I'm gonna do this video and how Russia is making news about this interview with Tucker Carlson and Sergei Lavrov. All right, I'm a Russian, I'm a foreigner in Russia. And guys, subscribe to the channel, more to come. Bye bye. Thanks for watching another of my videos. I do a lot of work and showing you reality in Russia and Russia-related places. Make sure to check out the places that you're interested in with the link in the description. There's an interactive Google Maps that you can use to find another places all around the world. Go check it out on a browser. Also, if you want to support and you wear Igor Russian shop clothing, you can do that. There's a link in the description to my store. Distribution all across the world. Thanks for watching, and leave a like, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.